Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Nayanika and welcome back to my booktube channel Pretty Little Bibliophile, and welcome if you're new. I make book related content and today's video is going to be my review of Crafting the Word, Writings from Manipur. So as I'm sure you already know by now, I have started the Explore India Readathon this year in September. I started with the Northeast specifically by reading a book from Assam, then I read a book from Arunachal Pradesh, going alphabetically, and then I moved on to M, wherein in November I read this book, Crafting the Word, which is a collection of writings from Manipur. And I just have to say that before I began this readathon and sort of this challenge for myself, I did not know how fulfilling it was going to be, both in terms of the works I would read because of the literariness, if I may use it like that, as well as the knowledge, the information that I've gathered after reading all of these amazing books, because many of these books do deal with events from the state's history that are not really sometimes taught, or sometimes that still remain as unfortunate realities that people had to deal with, for instance. And so I thought that this whole experience has been really enriching so far. And so yeah, without further ado, I'm going to share my thoughts on this book. So firstly, the reason why I wanted to read a collection is because, a collection is a collection of writings from different authors. So I thought that it would really expose me to the various themes, because one writer may write about something while the other will write about something else. And I was right. This is a very diverse collection. There are some beautiful essays. There are also some non-fictional essays which proved to be very informative. There were some amazing poems, short stories, as well as there was also a graphic narrative as well towards the end. So overall, I think this was a really wonderful read. However, for those of you who do not know about this, let me share the synopsis with you all. Manipur has a rich tradition of folk and oral narratives, as well as written texts dating from as early as an 8th century AD. But it was only in the second half of the 20th century that women began writing and publishing their works. Today, women's writings forms a vibrant part of Manipuri literature, and their voices are amplified through their coming together as an all-women literary group. Put together in discussions and workshops by the editor of this collection, Crafting the Word captures a region steeped in conservative patriarchy and at the center of an armed conflict. It is also a place, however, where women's activism has been at the forefront of peacemaking, and where their contributions in informal commerce and trade hold together the economy of daily life. So this is an amazing collection of writings, all of them specially by women. So my first impressions. Now this is the second such book that I've read. The first one was The Inheritance of Words, which is a similar collection of writings from Arunachal Pradesh, and it was also published by Zubaan books. I found an issue there wherein, I would have appreciated, as a reader, I would have appreciated if a certain chapter which serves as a background, a historical background of the state's literature and all of that, was placed at the end. I thought that it would have been much better if it was placed in the beginning, and therefore given the reader a good, historical background to everything before reading the different works there. However, in the case of this book, that correction, I believe that mistake has been rectified, because in the very beginning we have an introduction by the curator, the editor, and then we also have an article, a piece, and the name of it is The Journey of Women's Writing in Manipuri Literature by Nahakpam Aruna. And I think that this particular essay was really important in giving a background to what it is and how it all started, and the growth. As you can see, I'll show you, I've really annotated it because I found it to be very informative, and one that is unescapable, or one that is a must read before you read any of the other works in the essay. It also beautifully showed the growth in Manipuri literature, also in a very chronological manner, so it was very easy to understand as well. especially because, you know, in schools and all, you only get to see India's history as a whole, the mainstream Indian mainland. So it was really nice to get a background of all the events that have helped shape Manipuri literature, Manipuri women's literature especially, into what it is today. So here is something that I wrote for this book in an essay, and it goes as The Women Question. Manipur is very famous for Ima Kethil or the Nupi Kethil. I apologize if I mispronounce that. The market run wholly by women, so much so that it is a tourist attraction spot today. But behind all of it, patriarchy still is dominant in the state, and some of the works in this collection definitely address that. Female desires, gender relations, power structures within personal spaces, as well as the merging of the personal and the political, all of it is explored brilliantly in this collection. I think especially with the merging of the personal and the historical / political, that was much more interesting. So I'll share a bit of what I wrote more in this essay. The ongoing armed conflict in the state is also explored in this collection. The stories and the poems are often harsh and portray a raw reality, a raw picture of life through the emotions of a mother, of women who lose everything. These writers have put in their hearts and soul in rendering the truth within the written word. Conflict and gender norms merge in the story, the day that dusk at dawn, where women's agency and choice comes to the fore, as a leader and an active participant in the conflict. Now, what conflict, you might ask? It is the AFSPA, which is the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, and it has been in power since 1958, I believe. And you know, with recent happenings, today is I think the 6th of December, with recent happenings in Nagaland, there is an increasing demand to repeal this draconian law, which is still there in today's date and time, which is creating a lot of conflict in the state, and a lot of it is also hidden from the mainstream media. For instance, even with the whole Nagaland issue, what just happened, we don't see all other, you know, media houses covering it, mainstream media houses. So this book does address this draconian law and how it has taken away so many people away from their families, and how it has adversely affected so many people, so many sons and husbands and children and women as well. So it was definitely a very eye-opening read, I would say. Lastly, I would say that the language question was also addressed really well in this book, as in certain Manipuri words were left as it is. You know, it was a nice mixing of Manipuri with what is mainstream English, or you know, so therefore retaining the ethnic culture, or retaining the culture, Manipuri culture, within the English words, within the English writing. I thought it was done really, really well. And there was this amazing glossary that was attached at the very back, where, you know, meanings of the Manipuri words that were used were given, and I had a lot of fun trying to understanding and realizing what each of the Manipuri words actually meant, and also trying to pronounce them. So yeah, in my essay I did also share with you certain how do I say this, certain, or rather the favorite pieces of mine from this whole collection, because it's a wonderful collection of, you know, everything: poems, graphic tale, stories, non-fictional essays, all of that. So I think I do have a few favorites, of course, and I have made sure to mention those in my essay, which I'll make sure to link down below. You can definitely go through that for a more definitive review, I would say. But overall, I had a lot of fun, and I learned a lot reading this book, and I would definitely encourage you to read this one as well. Now for my book club, as well as the whole readathon, I am making these wish lists on Amazon, where I keep a track of all the books that I have come across. For instance, I have got a list that is books from Assam, books from Meghalaya, books from Manipur, all of that. So I think if you are interested as well in getting your hands on those, I would recommend checking out the wishlist links that I've mentioned down below. Once again, firstly, do opt for supporting a local bookstore if you can, and if not, then only maybe opt for Amazon. But yeah, overall I had a lot of fun reading this book. I hope you do check it out as well, and this has certainly been one of the best books that I read this year. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. This was a bit different from the ones that I usually do, vlog style, but things have been hectic with college and everything, so yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure to do check out the previous review videos that I've done, which I'll be linking somewhere along this whole video. And I hope you all take care of yourself, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Peace out. Bye.